Here with Washington State women's basketball head coach Kamie Ethridge. Coach, your team is about to embark on a big road trip. You start it this Sunday at Idaho, and then you go all the way down to the Bahamas after that to take on Miami and NC State next Thursday and next Saturday. So talk a little bit about those games. How are you all preparing? How excited are you for this first road trip of the season?
Yeah, I think we're super excited. I mean, it's just the next step that we have to take, get on the road and go to almost a home game. It feels like just right down the road, but a real rival, a team that gets up for us and obviously a Big Sky opponent. We just faced one that really, managed and handled us a little bit, and we had to fight to get that win against Northern Arizona. So it's a challenge to be better than we were. I think when we played our last game, we've had a week of practice. I think it's so important that we get to the point where we execute our offense a little bit better, handle what the other teams are doing to us, defensively and their schemes that we're starting to see, and manage the game a little bit better. So we're excited to get that chance against Idaho. Then we obviously head out into a destination place in the Bahamas and love to take our kids on the road and to destination places and places they haven't maybe been before. And while you're there, you got to play, some top teams in the country. Miami, super athletic, lengthy, long, can speed you up and really make the game difficult for you. North Carolina State is just, only a top 5 or 6 team in the country, and they just have weapons after weapons. So really big challenge for us to see how we travel and to see if we can, more than anything, things you got to do on the road to win, just be the tougher team and to really defend well and rebound the ball well and hope that the ball goes in the basket.
Jamie Vinnick from Cougs fan, go ahead.
Coach, how's it going?
Good, Jamie.
So you mentioned the trip to the Bahamas, and obviously, you meant there's the balance between the basketball and the, and the enjoyment side of things, getting into some nice weather and out of 25 degrees and snowing. But, you've taken your teams on these trips before. Is it difficult at all to keep everyone focused and not let them kind of get distracted by the, some of the joys that can come with being in a tropical location?
Well, it definitely brings things into the mix that you can't prepare for. It's not like we can ever just get our kids ready for this adventure. You hope your team is mature. You hope that they know how to be businesslike when they need to be businesslike. I think we have to give some parameters, to them and not allow them to be sunbathing until game time. And so there's a mix of yes, we want them to be able to be outside and enjoy that experience and get to know other teams. A lot of teams are there. Be a little bit social in those settings. It evidently is a beautiful resort that has a water park, and we want to make sure we spend a day doing kind of those fun things. And then when it gets closer to game time, we're focused and kind of get lasered in and be prepared to play our games when we get the chance, an opportunity to do that. So we don't want to be, complete and total, stick in the mud people. But we do want mature kids that really are there for a reason and know it and show up on game time.
And just kind of focusing then on Sunday against Idaho. Idaho's a good team. You guys played you fairly tough until kind of Charlize took over in that third quarter last year. But it's really going to be the first true road game for players like Charlize who just haven't experienced fans really. What do you kind of try to tell some of the players, and even the players who haven't seen fans or opposing fans in a couple of years?
Well, I hadn't even thought about telling them anything until you just mentioned it. So I don't know that I feel like I have to. Again, I think our fans, our kids understand that what the road looks like and feels like. I think there'll be a different level of excitement and anticipation for being on the road. Idaho being 7 miles away, it's not like we're really getting a road experience. We're not staying overnight. We're not flying somewhere. So that I think almost will feel like, other than a new gym, that's gonna feel more like home-like for us, I think. So I feel like again, there are certain things that I really worry about with this team, but I don't know that that's one of them. I feel like they understand how to get themselves ready and how to prepare and how to take care of business when we start to make a road trip, and that it really is a business trip. And and with your best friends in the world that you hang out with and have a blast with as you prepare for games and travel the world. So, but I don't want to over analyze and act like these kids aren't accustomed to and used to playing in front of fans in those environments.
And then last thing, do you know approximately when Johanna's going to be back from playing with Estonia?
Last night at midnight.
Okay, so you'll have her for Sunday then and going forward?
She better be at practice here in an hour. So I expect her to come in excited to be there, and she's got a few things she's got to learn and get back in it. So really excited to have her back.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Coach, just a couple more questions here. This is going to be the first time that you face a top 25 opponent this season. You're a couple of games into it. How excited are you how much are you looking forward to going up against a high-level team like NC State and another high-level team like Miami? They're very similar to what you'll see in the Pac-12. So how excited are you looking forward to those games? And is this going to be kind of like a measuring stick to see where you guys stand as opposed to maybe some other Pac-12 talented teams?
Yeah, it's a really difficult, I think, thing to do. Like, we really just try to stay focused on one team ahead, and that's Idaho. And Idaho's going to pretty much play a 4-guard lineup and don't really play much of a post presence at all. And so they're completely different in what we need to work on in practice and how we have to defend them. And then you turn around and you have to be completely different in how you have to defend Miami. And then you have a day in between. You have to probably be very detail oriented against a North Carolina State. So scouting is difficult. It's difficult for everybody. I don't think most of the teams play somebody before they go to the Bahamas in the next few days anyway. So we're no different than anyone else. I think it's more important that we feel like we have a defensive identity and we know how to play maybe a few different styles. And that gives us a chance against different styles that we face as we go. It's not like you learn a different style the day before you play somebody. So we've got to manage a real spread offense on Sunday, and then we've got to turn around and keep, unbelievable athletes in front of us, the next time we play. And then you have to turn around and guard the 3 and a great inside presence with North Carolina State. So it's wildly different, all 3 teams. But again, it's the confidence that we build that in. We're not just learning one style of how to defend, and knowing that we have to have emphasis in how to guard different places on the floor and what we want to stop depending on who we play. But there's no question the challenges and the height and the size difference of a Miami and North Carolina State versus what we've seen so far this year is going to be drastically different from a standpoint of we're not very big and we're not really that tall. So we got to be committed to what we do offensively. We've got to make a lot of baskets, and we've got to be scrappy and make every basket that the other team gets, difficult to make.
Had 4 games, 2 exhibitions, and 2 regular non-conference games with this team. What are some things that you've seen in those 4 games that you've really liked, and what are maybe some things that you would really like to see your team get better at as the season goes on?
Well, I'm not too worried about where we are. No one's perfect right now. I think if you asked any coach, they would say we're not quite there in any area of the game. I think we've rebounded the ball really well, with the exception of the first half against San Jose when we had a bazillion turnovers. We've handled the ball really well. And I think a big step up from a year ago was the rebounding side of it. We've really done a better job on both sides of the ball, rebounding the ball. So that's exciting. Execution, I would say, is still just huge for us offensively. We don't quite set screens as urgently as we need to, and solid screens and angles of screens. It's just we've learned a lot. We can think we know things, and then get in the game, you slip a little bit and you don't quite execute the way you want to. So I think that's why we need games right now, is just to see how we are going to execute when teams speed us up and the physicality of the game happens. It's different than practice. So, but excited about that. I think these 2, Idaho's going to present some problems, and then those next 2 games will present different problems than we've seen so far. So just take it in, try to scrap away and win games, and try to put yourself in position to win games late in the game, and hopefully build up a few wins and get yourselves prepared for the Pac-12 regular season.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you after Sunday's Idaho game, and go Cougs.
Thanks, everybody. Go Cougs.